My name is Holly Robinson and I'm 19 years old.
My name is John Cantaloupe. I'm 64.
My name's Hayley and I'm 27.
I'm Mimi and my age is 46.
I'm Paddy and I'm 24.
My name is Tom and I'm 21.
My name's Richard, I'm 25.
My name's Harry Cook and I'm 19.
So you have a thirst for adventure. Perhaps you dream of visiting 7 continents, or standing on top of a tall mountain. Most of us never dare act upon our dreams, and scarcely venture to share them, or admit to great inner yearnings.
Migration is where you get a whole population of birds shifting from one part of the world to another part of the world.
Southern Africa,
Berlin,
Germany,
Bratislava,
Cambodia,
Australia,
the Middle East,
Singapore,
Dubai,
Prague,
Central America,
Turkey,
North America, New Zealand, Western Europe,
Switzerland,
Hong Kong,
Vietnam,
California,
France,
Budapest,
Australia,
Thailand, India,
Rome.
China, Israel.
The next morning brought great news. Our trunks had arrived from Hamburg at last.
It's not really a dream, it's because I've sort of already done it. So it's kind of really a reality in that sense, but you know, if I could keep doing it, I definitely would. And that would be a dream, if I could just keep doing it. Not have to stay in England, just enjoy the world because it's there. And you know, it should be seen.
We're 1,000 miles from comfort. We have traveled land and sea. But as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be.
I think we constantly we've always got something that we're saving towards, and then when everybody's coming in, we're always out of the case of what if someone would join them. And we do get some customers that come in, they want to do something that we had never even thought of, and as soon as they leave, the whole team's like, oh my goodness, we didn't know you could do this, we need to go. Like I found out recently, there's an island, it's in the Bahamas, but it's a little bit removed, called the Bay of Pigs, and there's just these wild pigs that swim out in the sea and you can go in and swim with them. It's just odd little things like that we'd like to do.
Sometimes I feel like I need to get some more life experience, just to get around the world, to experience different places, and that's where I feel like I need to just get out there and travel and experience.
I think when you're fed up with the weather, I hate the cold, so I love getting away to hot weather. If work is getting on top of you, you just need a break, and to get away, it just takes you away from that whole, I'm here, I've got to do something about work, because I associate it with being here. When you're on holiday, that's it, it's your precious time, it's completely separate.
It is an escape from growing up more than anything as well. So you grow up, you have kids, get a house, and then you're kind of stuck for about 18, 20 years. So for me, it's all about doing all the travelling things I can, making as many friends as I can around the world now. So when I do retire, I've got all these friends around the world as well.
If I really, really wanted to get away, I would do.
The freeway miles seem so easy now. The engine, which has carried us halfway across the continent, drones on, and its continuing oblivion to everything but its own internal forces. Unless you are fond of hollering, you don't make great conversations on a running cycle. Instead, you spend your time being aware of things and meditating on them, on sights and sounds, on the mood of the weather and things remembered, on the machine and the countryside you are in, thinking about things at great leisure and length without being hurried and feeling you are losing time.
I love to travel. I've been travelling quite a few times. I've been to most of Western Europe, but I've also been to Turkey and did a sort of road trip in Western America.
I spent years hating driving and not travelling very much. And then for various reasons I started driving, and then once I got the bug, I've been travelling a lot, mainly in Europe. I've travelled a few times to America, but I mainly travelled to Spain, where I've got a small house.
My family didn't travel too much. We had like a few odd holidays, but I've got some members of my family that travel quite a lot. My uncle is a doctor for Save the Children. Because of that, we used to go and visit him quite a lot in Bangladesh or Cambodia, and it just opened our family up to some more destinations. And when I was at uni, I started working for an Iranian company, and then I was based in the Middle East for a while. And from there I started travelling quite a lot, and probably spent about 6 years abroad.
I used to do a lot of travelling for work, but don't work anymore, so I don't need to. I used to travel a lot into London on the high-speed train. Now I just do it for meeting friends and going into London and seeing stuff. Also do a lot of travelling for holidays. We really enjoy going long-haul holidays like Thailand.
I guide people on their journeys on what they want to do. I basically came here about 3 years ago and got my travel planned for me. So I went around the world, experienced everything. I've come back, and now I just want to carry on helping other people do it.
Last summer I went around Europe with 3 of my friends. We went to 5 countries in a month. We went to Berlin, Prague, Bratislava, Budapest, and then Rome. But we also stopped in Austria, sort of midway, which was a bit unscheduled, but we stayed there just for a night. Just experienced it.
Wanderlust, a strong desire or longing to travel the world, affecting everybody and anybody, no matter what age. 2 hours into Thai Air Flight 311 from Bangkok to Kathmandu, I left my seat and walked to the rear of the airplane. Near the bank of lavatories on the starboard side, I crouched to peer through a small waist-level window, hoping to catch a glimpse of some mountains.
The knowledge you get from the history and the culture from different places I love to do can be a bit stressful with the sort of different languages and trying to get to places on time, but otherwise it's very exciting. I love Turkey. Turkey was amazing. Istanbul was just amazing. If I could go again, I would definitely go there. The mosques, the art, the history was just fantastic.
It's the food, it's the people, it's the wine, it's the food and the sherry, but it's the wildlife too. It's the nearest place where I think you get wild Europe.
I would try Vietnam. I've not tried Vietnam because it's so different. It's not... I love sort of Southeast Asian culture, food, temperament, people, and it's one of the places I've not been to, and it's not... Although it is becoming more commercialised and more touristy, it's still just, it's just very different to here, very different.
Trying to understand their cultural differences when you first get somewhere new, especially somewhere that's very, very different, like India or like Africa, you want to challenge what you're seeing and make it how it is in England. You shouldn't talk like that, you shouldn't kind of drive like that, you should do it our way. So you have to be there for quite a while to accept places for what they are.
I've been to some quite extravagant places. I've been to China, which is a very unusual place to go to. But other than that, just around Europe. But my favourite place that I've been to is probably either Hungary or Rome in Italy. That was just really beautiful, and the people there are great, and the food's excellent. It was quite a culturally enlightening experience. We enjoyed it from both seeing the sights, just from that one end of the spectrum to enjoying the nightlife, just embracing the culture.
It is just the experiences on a daily basis. One day you could be jungle trekking, next day you're whitewater rafting back down through the jungle, next day you're in a night bazaar, just buying really random soap ornaments and stuff. So there's lots of different things.
I'm sitting in the railway station, got a ticket for my destination.
I walk past a bush here, and I'm lucky if one bird flies out. I walk past a bush in Spain, and quite often it's 2 or 3 birds fly out. You have vultures with wings the size of a barn door. And you see those pretty much everywhere. You have bee-eaters, which are incredibly colourful and bright. So you've got a whole mix of birds of various types and brightness and colours, and both visual and audio attraction. Then you've got lots of flowers, orchids. It's about the only group I can identify. And butterflies, monarch butterfly. And last year we saw one of the rarest big cats in the world, the Iberian lynx. So a whole range of things about the wildlife of Spain that I find both attractive, interesting, and just makes me want to go back.
I think it's just because it's a whole new experience. It's the cultures in different places as well. It is just, you never know what you're going to do as well. There's always something different. You meet people from all walks of life, and you do get to see like poverty in other places, and it makes you appreciate what you've got back home.
My favourite thing about travelling is probably meeting the new people that you do. You'd be surprised how many people are doing the same thing as you when you're going. I mean, when we went to Berlin, we stayed in a hostel, and we met people there that were literally doing the exact same trip as us, but just the other way around, starting in Rome and then finishing in Berlin. And you meet other people that have been to like even more extreme places, like as I said, like China, like people that came from China we met in Berlin. No, so that's a long way.
I had a book I stole from a Hollywood store, but I preferred reading the American landscape as we went along. Every bump, rise and stretch in it mystified my longing.
I do like the idea of just a long train journey and watching the fields go by and stuff, but when you're carrying your suitcase, not so much, especially when you know that you could just be home. It's not as exciting just going from one place to another.
In inky night we crossed New Mexico. At grey dawn it was Dalhart, Texas. In the black Sunday afternoon we rode through one Oklahoma flat town after another. At nightfall it was Kansas. The bus rode on. I was going home in October. Everybody goes home in October.
Hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans.
What is that feeling when you're driving away from people and they recede on the plain till you see their specks dispersing? It's the too huge world vaulting us, and it's goodbye. But we lean forward to the next crazy venture beneath the skies.